welcome our fellow environmentalists and mindset changes. As Visual Eco Care, we are at the Game Rangers International. We're visiting the elephant orphanage. Is that what it's called?
It's called the Nursery, but you know,
the concept is same.
The nursery for the small ones.
So would you tell us about the boards?
So obviously the welcome board, our visitors, they can find us. Very important on the bottom, we have the organisations that actually make it possible for us to be here, because we're running as the organisation, but everybody needs help. So we're very happy. So Lafarge actually helped us build the thing. Lilai donated the land. I4, David Shepherd and Olsen's are our major donors. They really, really help us out. But most importantly, the Department of National Parks and Wildlife, which used to be known as ZAWA. I think a lot more people know the Zambia Wildlife Authority. And in fact, we still call it kind of ZAWA. Yes. But they're responsible for all the wildlife in Zambia, and we work hand in hand with them. So we're very lucky that they were happy for us to come here and do this project under their guardianship. Yes. So they're very big partners of ours.
So before we get in and find out, would you just give a short version of what you guys do here?
Okay, so as it says, the Elephant Nursery. Now it's part of the Elephant Orphanage Project.
Yes.
The project is kind of two bits: the nursery and the release facility.
Yes.
So we are rescuing elephants. As a Department of National Parks and Wildlife, they will find orphan elephants where the mothers have been killed either for ivory, or perhaps there's been some human-elephant conflict, and a small baby has been left behind. Yeah. If the baby is left, it's going to die. Yeah. So we bring it here, we try and save its life, keep it fit and healthy, and get it to a stage where it can move to the release facility, which is in Kafui National Park, and that's where they learn to become an elephant again, with the ultimate aim of putting them back in the wild, where they can live the life they should have been living before their mothers were killed.
One thing that you brought out is that you got help from these organizations. And then the people that are watching, how can they help if they feel late?
Actually, there's many ways they can help. First of all, if you happen to live in the area, please come and visit us.
Yes.
Even just coming, there's a small entry fee or 50 kwacha, but that money really helps us pay the staff, helps us to feed the elephants. You can actually come and donate. We're obviously happy to accept money donations, but we feed the elephants a lot of food and things like jungle oats, Future Life cereal, coconut, whey powder, milk powder, any of those things. So when you're doing your shopping, you can put one extra in your basket. Just drop it off here at the nursery or our office in Leopards Hill. If you're outside of the country and that's not possible, you can still donate online. We have a Just Giving site. It helps us build all the projects. We've got a lot of women empowerment projects. We have resource protection projects, and that income is very gratefully received. If you want hands-on, go on our website, gamerangersinternational.org, and click on volunteer. Come out and work with us for a week or two and see what you can do. Both in-country, we're welcoming Zambians, internationals. As long as you're 18 and over, we have no upper age limit. So please, join us.
So you heard it, ladies and gentlemen, you're very much welcome. So I'm going to link all their websites and all their contacts to, if it's on YouTube, you're watching this, you can find it in the description section. And then if it's on Facebook, you'll find it along the article that's been published. Stay tuned and let's get and see the elephants.
Welcome to the Lilai Elephant Nursery. So the Elephant Nursery here is 50% of the Elephant Project. And the Elephant Project is part of wildlife rescue under Game Rangers. Has anyone been to us before? Yeah, okay. Would you like to do the talk so I can go for an early lunch? Okay, so Game Rangers International is made up of three parts: wildlife rescue, community outreach, resource protection. And I'm hoping that by the end of your visit today, you'll go home with a better understanding of what we're trying to do here and how important those two things are to the elephants you're going to see in front of you. But at the end of the day, my job here is to try and get them fit and healthy so that they can get to a stage where they can go to the release facility. Victor, my colleague, is standing in front here. These are the bigger elephants. These are all come to us when they've been small. And as you see now, there's some quite big elephants in there. There are 21 elephants in total under our sort of auspice. 2 of them have already gone back in the bush. They took themselves off. 2 of them unfortunately died after they'd been released, but the rest are still within our care. What we're trying to do here is get them fit enough to go there, and when they go there, they stop thinking about humans at all, and they start remembering what it's like to be a wild elephant. Quite often get asked, is your project working? It's very difficult to tell in a project as young as ours. This is just our 11th year. Elephants don't mature till they're about 9, 10, 11 years old. So for a female to start having babies, the earliest they would normally have in the wild is sort of 14, 15. For a male bull elephant to start breeding, he's capable from the age of about 10 years, but he has to cope with the big guys. It's a bit like going to Lusaka on a Saturday night, you know? The 16-year-olds are very ready, but the guy with the BMW and the job is the one who's going to win. Huh? So the elephants are the same in the bush. When they get to 20, 25, they start to get breeding opportunity, and then they've got to compete with the 40-year-olds, and those 40-year-olds are tough boys. Huh?
Hello fellow environmentalists and mindset changers. Today we are at the Elephant Orphanage in Lilai, which is run by Game Rangers International. And with us today we have a friend that works with Game Rangers International, Liz O'Brien. Liz, welcome to the interview.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Lilai. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. So, off the top, Liz, Game Rangers International. What exactly, who are they? What exactly do they do?
Okay, so Game Rangers International is a non-governmental organisation formed 2008 after some years. David Shepherd, who is a famous wildlife artist and was a great friend of Kenneth Kaunda, was asked by Mr. Kaunda to help with an orphan elephant, and had been involved with Zambia for some years, many years. He also then had a colleague, Mr. Sport Beatty, who got talking to him, and between them they saw there was a need in Zambia for some of the elephants that were being orphaned by poaching. And so Sport started up Game Rangers International back in 2008.
Okay.
Their sort of mission, if you like, is to try and protect the environment, save the animals, and with the wildlife, rescue, rehabilitate and release back into the wild, whilst at the same time using resource protection to protect the environment and community outreach to work with all the communities who are affected by having wildlife in their lives.
Okay, that's wonderful. So when it comes to the wildlife aspect, it's not just elephants you're involved in?
No, I mean, it started with an elephant, but as it becomes and we now have 21 elephants sort of in and around our project, but we are now wildlife rescue rather than just elephants, because we found, especially here actually on the outskirts of Lusaka, where you're sort of heading for open country, more and more people call us with orphan bush bugs, duiker, bush babies, small animals. We also work very closely with the Department of National Parks and Wildlife, assisting them wherever possible when they have calls for injured animals that have been caught maybe in snares or have been injured by bushmeat poachers.
Okay. And coming to the elephant orphanage itself, how was it started, and how did you pick this particular location in Lilai? Because a person would expect this place to be in a national park somewhere.
Sure, and as I say, well, there's a lot of questions in one there. So when the project first started, the entire project was based in Kafue National Park.
Okay.
The release facility where the older orphans go to begin their journey back into the wild is still in Kafue National Park. Okay. A lot of the Game Rangers activities are based in the national park.
All right.
One thing that happened a few years after the start of the organisation, when you have a very small orphan elephant and it's sick, and you're in the middle of Kafue National Park, you are a 7-hour drive away from the nearest vet or the nearest pharmacy, and it became very difficult providing what the calves needed at the time they needed it. So the decision was taken by Sport and by Rachel Merton, she is the director of the Wildlife Rescue, that we needed to have a nursery for the very small orphans at the point of rescue, and it needed to be closer to where all the laboratories, the vets and the pharmacies. Lusaka, obviously as the capital city, was the obvious place. It was the nearest big town. So they started looking around. The Miller family, who own Lilai Lodge and Lilai Game Reserve, actually donated a piece of land. And said, you are welcome to come here. So with the permission of Department of National Parks and Wildlife, the nursery was set up here at Lilai.
Okay, wonderful information. Then your role here, Liz, what exactly do you do?
That's a very good question. And if you ask me that question every day for a year, I will probably give you a different answer every day for a year. I head up the vet team. So my sort of specialty is actually the elephant rescues first and foremost, the health, diet, nutrition and welfare of the elephants, plus all the other wildlife. In the last few months, we've had fish eagle, bushbuck, duiker, bush baby, all needing to take care of. So my job is to sort of work out what we need to do, how we need to look after them, what we need to feed them, and the plan for getting them back into the wild. On top of that, my aim is to teach everybody I work with how to do everything I do, because for us, for game rangers, it's very, very important that any knowledge that is brought into the project is shared to the local people, shared to the employees, so everybody within the organisation is learning, and eventually they can take over the job themselves perhaps. And I'm very hopeful that one day there'll be one of the people who currently work with me will actually be working in place of me.
Thank you viewers for joining us on this exciting journey with Game Rangers International. Hope you had a wonderful time on reviewing the secret life of elephants. Make sure you join us on our next episode.